afternoon. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Public Works for October 14, 2020. Roll call.
Val Gomez.
Present.
William Allen.
Present.
Weena Guzman.
Present.
Okay, next we go on to the minutes. We had the minutes of the special meeting of September 16, 2020, and the regular meeting minutes of September 23, 2020. Entertain the motion to approve as written for both of these meetings.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Val Gomez.
Yes.
William Allen.
Yes.
Weena Guzman.
Yes.
Okay, next we go on to correspondence. We have a correspondence from Marcus Jefferson. This is pertaining to the truancy program. As in the past, we've had him here before us. The issue were his late invoices. We haven't paid him because he submitted the invoices late and because the school superintendent would not confirm his hours. But apparently, I'll read the correspondence. It's from attorney Eric Olden Clark. It was sent to Human Resources and also to the Chicago Board of Public Works. To whom it may concern, kindly be advised this office represents Marcus D. Jefferson, former executive director of the Second Start Truancy Program. Mr. Jefferson wishes to be paid for work that he performed. The issue of him having or not having someone to prove his hours is not an issue since same is not included in the body of contract. I have enclosed a review the contract as well as timesheets from my client. Since this matter is straightforward, we shall allow 10 days from receipt of this letter to receive payment in full. All available revenues are allowed to utilize to collect the amount due, as well as any of your damages if not paid at once. Mr. Jefferson gave you his time and expertise as well as intellectual property, which we believe you continue to use. Page 6 of the contract, number 4, delineates that he shall submit invoices which he has submitted. The invoices total $8,520. No payment has been made. My client has kept it in the bargain, and now it's time to pay. We should expect there will be no disciplinary or punctual actions taken against Mr. Jefferson because he's seeking to enforce the terms of his contract. Please do not hesitate to contact me if you have any questions or additional information. Now, I did show this letter to Carla, our attorney for the Board of Works. And I think, in my opinion, Marcus misrepresented himself to his own attorney. Because even though they quote certain sections of the agreement, when he fails to understand that we're not holding up this payment, the reason it came to the Board of Works because under Section 7, he's required to submit his invoices in a timely fashion. It also says that the consultant will submit invoices to the superintendent who will review, and upon approval will submit the invoices for payment. And also the city policy states that invoices for work performed or goods services must be invoiced within 30 days of the work performed. And the consultant agrees to the invoice the city within 30 days. So obviously his attorney was unaware of Section 7 of the contract that he signed, which was the basis of why we haven't paid him yet. And that's why Carla says she would contact their attorney and advise them of these things that he left out in his letter. And also, I told her the invoices that he provided to his attorney, which his attorney sent to us, were the first set of invoices, the second set, and they weren't the first set where the superintendent said she could not verify his hours. And that was the issue why we rejected it originally. And this is the second set where she puts a different wording on. And so, and I also suggested that Carl send the minutes of our last meeting when Mr. Marcus Jefferson came, so his attorney could see that we did question him on all these issues. So I told Carla, I don't know if he misrepresented himself to his attorney like he did with us. You know, so Carla said as a matter of fact, my conversation with Carla, she was going to contact the attorney and provide all this information, and then we'll go from there.
So we'll table it basically.
Well, right now, just correspondence,
Okay.
and based on what Carla's conversation with us. But I told Carla, I'm all for paying him and getting this issue out of the way. He's no longer the director. And part of the reason he's no longer director is because, not only because there's invoices, but they're questioning the work he was supposed to be doing. So it's a bigger issue. So I think that's something the law department has addressed with him and his attorney. So, and the only reason it came to us because it was a late invoice. And State Board of Accounts requires us to, any late invoices have to be approved by a board if they're over 30 days. And it's even in his contract he signed. He agreed to all these terms. So we'll let Carla review this and come back with a recommendation to us, as she said, by next meeting. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, we'll move on to new business. Our first item on our agenda is the bid for 2020 demolition of unsafe buildings. We have from James Bertine, Director of Building Department, Dearborn of Works. Mr. James Bertine will not be in attendance for the meeting today. The request is for the board to move forward with the below agenda items on behalf of Mr. Bertine. Number one, request to award J&M Industrial Services Incorporated the 2020 Board of Safety Demolitions of Unsafe Structure bid presented to the board on 9/23 as if they were the lowest and most responsive bidder. Okay, so that's the first thing on the agenda, and I believe he included the contract, the Board of Works and J&M Industrial Services, and trying to see what their,
The total,
yeah,
it was $178,809.
okay, yeah, I see this tiny little pretty,
Yeah.
I thought it was a smudge, but it's tiny little pretty, okay. So J&M as being the lowest, most responsive bidder, their amount was $178,809 and 0 cents, right?
Correct.
Okay. So based on his recommendation, I entertain a motion. We follow the recommendation of the building department to award to J&M Industrial Services.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Del Gomez,
Yes?
William Allen,
Yes.
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is come to outstanding invoices. First one is for CDW from the building department. Is a late invoice dated 4/1/2020 in the amount of $85. Their explanation is late invoice to CDW government invoice WKW1628, invoice date 4/1/20. Invoice was just sent to the building department. So I believe they're saying that it wasn't their fault, and it was more CDW sent the invoice late to them. Any questions or comments on this late invoice?
No.
Having no further questions or comments, entertain a motion to approve payment to CDW for a late invoice to the building department in the amount of $85.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Del Gomez,
Yes.
William Allen,
Yes.
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
Okay, next we have in the park department, late invoices for heavy industry. We have 3 invoices dated 4/30/2020, 7/29/2020, 5/29/2020, totaling $59,350. The explanation is that they were sent to the wrong department. I think we get a lot of those sent to the wrong department. Any questions or comments on? And the work was done. This is basically for hard work.
No question.
None.
There being no further questions or comments, entertain a motion to approve the late due invoices from Heavy Industries in the amount of $59,350.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez,
Yes?
William Allen,
Yes.
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
Okay, next we have late invoices from R&B Construction and Engineering. We have two late invoices from 7/14/2020 and 7/20/2020, totaling $11,583. Engineering Department received invoices on time, however, they were inadvertently not paid. Services have been rendered and invoices shall be processed.
And this was the removal and replacement of sidewalk.
Okay, so. Okay, any other questions or comments?
No.
There being no further questions or comments, I entertain a motion to approve the late invoice payment to R&D Construction in the amount of $11,583.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez,
Yes.
William Allen,
Yes.
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
And next we have late invoice from Comcast, dated 7/14/2020, amount of $18,490. Also from Engineering Department received invoice in time, however, program and training had to be completed prior to issuing payment. Services have been rendered and invoices should be processed.
So by the time we got the invoice, they had just started to perform the work that we approved for them to do. This was before 100% of the work was done, which, we always pay, at the end of the job, or if the job's big enough, we do pay applications. But for this case, we decided to wait until we got the full finished product before we decided to pay.
Thank you. You actually give a better explanation than everybody else. All right, any questions or comments on Comcate's late invoice?
No.
There being no further questions or comments, or intend motion for payment of late invoice to Comcate in the amount of $18,490.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez,
Yes.
William Allen,
Yes.
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to, that concludes outstanding invoices. We move on to Vigilance Solutions from the Police Department. It's an invoice and agreement. The attached invoices for the 25 cameras associated with the license plate recognition system, LPR, affixed to a small number of police vehicles in various stationary locations within the city of Chicago. The LPR system captures a photo of license plates with date, time, and location of the same. Description allows access to the security camera system database for investigation purposes. Access to the system is restricted to police personnel involved in criminal investigation and is governed by the police chief, Hector Rosario. Police Department implemented the APR system in 2014. Thank you for your consideration. The amount is $11,250 for their annual subscription renewal fee from 12/20 to 11/21. This program has been effective in 2014. Are there any questions or comments on the Police Department's proposal from Vigilant Solutions?
No.
There being no further questions or comments, or entertain a motion to approve Vigilant Solutions proposal for their ongoing program with the Police Department for $11,250.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez,
Yes.
William Allen,
Yes.
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
And next we have from Howard He Nine-Part Company, service agreement with HR. This is an annual, Mr. Johnson, our payroll manager, he's been unable to come to work. He called me and asked if I could present this for him. This is an annual service agreement that helps him with the payroll data collection and analysis. And they prepare a comprehensive annual report for our payroll department. The fee is $6,500, and also there's an interim GASB 75 actuary update of $3,000. So the amount will be $9,500, I believe. Like I said, it's something that's an annual part of our payroll department. and he apologized for not being able to be here. He just called me today. Are there any questions or comments?
No.
No. There being no further questions or comments, entertain a motion to approve the proposal from Harmony Neinhardt Company with our payroll department manager Robert Johnson for their annual services.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez.
Yes.
William Allen.
Yeah.
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
Okay, next we have Spectrum from Fire to Board of Public Works. Dear board members, attached you'll find 3 quotes for painting overhead door, pillars, ceiling stripe, and I-beam guards at Central Fire Station. I respectfully recommend approval for Spectrum in the amount of $6,300 since they are the lowest quote obtained. Funding for this project will be from Building Improvements account 111-010-443-050. Respectfully submitted, Anthony Stern, Fire Chief. And he did have 3 quotes. Royalty and AGI. And this was the lowest bid. Are there any questions or comments on this proposal from the fire department?
None.
Okay, there being no further questions or comments, entertain a motion to approve Spectrum's painting and maintenance work proposal for Central Station in the amount of $6,300.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez.
Yes.
William Allen.
Yeah.
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
Next, we have another letter from Chief Sturna. Dear board members, I would like to declare the attached list of items from our inventory room and draw out our facilities as surplus. These items are broken and obsolete. We are trying to clean out our inventory room and all of our facilities. Respectfully, Anthony P. Sturna. He included 2 pages of items. They're basically hand tools and other appliances the fire department uses, hose. And basically, they're all, he has here, broken and non-repairable, obsolete. Parts no longer available. Like I said, there's 2 pages of various items. Are there any questions on any of these items?
No.
No.
Okay, there be no further questions or comments. Entertain a motion to approve the fire chief service request for declaring these items broken and obsolete so they can disregard these items.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez.
Yes?
William Allen.
Yes.
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
Okay, next we have from the marina, we have Marina needs 2 hourly rate schedules ratified by the Board of Works, King Heating, and Valley Fire. So these, what they submitted are 2 rate schedules from King Heating and from Valley Fires. I think that's for their fire protection for their sprinkler system. So they're just their hourly rates and labor rates for 2020. Are there any questions or comments on these 2 rate schedules for 2020 for the marina?
None.
Yeah.
There be no further questions or comments, entertain a motion to approve King Heating and Valley Fire rate schedules for the marina for 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez.
Yes.
William Allen.
Yes.
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
And by the way, Nick from the marina, he did say, he's their ops manager, he did say that this would also be submitted to their board. Okay, next item on our agenda. Did we do a roll call for that? No, okay. Too far ahead of myself. Okay, next item on our agenda is Midwest Electric change orders 1 to 3, Block Stadium, transformer relocation. Okay, change order number 1 would be a net increase of $38,188. This is to remove and relocate NIPSCO transformer to the north side of 144th Avenue. Reason for change order to replace pole mounted transformer into electrical box. Let's see, explanation from Keith Salvi.
Now, if I can note,
You have a note on this one?
I think I can note something on this. These three appear to be under the same purchase order. And if I total up all three change orders, they're over the 20%. So I'm not sure if that would, because the 20% would be, because the original contract price was $249,608. So 20% would be $49,936. And if I total all three change orders, that would be $61,237.
So if we take one at a time, we could only pass maybe the first one and the second one, then, right? Because you're going by all three, right?
Yes.
All three will pass, so what's 20%?
49,936.
Okay, so 49,000 is the limit at 20%. Change order number 1 is 38, and it looks like that might be the only one we could actually pass, isn't it? Because the next change order, is for 7,000. Okay, let me write down, what was the 20% again?
I think that the two, it would, okay, so it's 49,936.
Okay, that's 20%.
Yes.
49,936?
That's 49,936.
Okay, so right now
Like the math is correct.
okay, if we go in order, we can approve change order number 1, that's 38,000.
38,000.
Okay, so
Like,
let's do it that way, we'll just go in the row, we'll do change order number 1. So the change order number 1 at 38,188, we're still within the 20%.
yes.
Okay, are there any questions or comments on change order number 1 at 30%, at $30,188?
No question.
No.
There being no further questions or comments, entertain a motion to approve change order number 1 at the amount of $30,188 for the Block Stadium project. And this is for the removal and relocation of NIPSCO transformer to the north side of 145th Avenue. Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Did you say 30 or 38,000?
$38,188.
Second.
Roll call?
Del Gomez,
Yes?
William Allen,
Yes.
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
Okay, so that if we subtract 38,000 from 49, so we have enough to go to do the second one. The second one is 7,000, right?
Yeah, that's, so that'd be a total of 45,388.
Okay, so we'll move on to change order number 2. This is the contractor install a 12-inch new concrete driveway leading to the transformer pad. Reason for change is going to require a concrete driveway to access pad and transformers. This is 7,200. Any questions or comments on this proposal?
None.
No.
Maybe no further questions or comments, or entertain a motion to approve. Change order number 2, the amount of $7,200 to install a 12-inch new concrete driveway leading to the transformer pad. Okay, so, any questions or comments?
No.
No.
Okay, we entertain a motion to approve it.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Del Gomez,
Yes?
William Allen,
Yes.
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
Okay, change order number 3, obviously at 15,000 would put us way past that 20%. So we're going to have to discuss this with Keith Salvi, since it would be over 20% and the state requires if it's over 20% that it's a new project and you have to bring the proposal separate, not a change order, it would be a new proposal for this change order. And this is just to install additional conduit to supply power to the food court. Was omitted from original scope of work needed because of relocation of transformer. Okay, so this is, we'll have to discuss this with Salvi. We told them because it was over 20%, they can still do it, but it'll have to be, not a change order, it'll have to be as a separate proposal. And if he's agreeable to it, we can put it on the agenda for next meeting. Okay? Is that okay with everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now we'll move on to Garrett, change order number 8, Block Stadium Phase 3, also from Public Works. See, this is change orders in the amount will increase by $854. We are enclosing costs incurred to provide subcontractor labor to modify pendulum lights in the auditorium as directed per the attached breakdown. It's for $854. Any questions or comments on this change order?
No.
No.
Okay, there being no further questions or comments, entertain a motion to approve Garrett change order number 8 for Block Stadium Phase 3 in the amount of $854.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Del Gomez,
Yes?
William Allen,
Yes.
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
Okay, next we have from Fence Masters, emergency fence relocation. And this is for 260 linear feet of 6-foot-high black vinyl chain link fence. Relocated, also 6-foot-high by 20-foot-wide double gate. Relocated. Fence posts to be removed will be cut below grade. Reusing top rail and fence fabric, furnishing standing posts, $7,861. Any questions or comments on this proposal?
No.
No.
You see on Mr. Selby's recommendation, on here he has his emergency fence relocation, emergency PO, the city of EC owns fencing needs to be relocated immediately due to street widening of Guthrie Street project. So this is related to Guthrie Street project. Okay, no questions or comments? There being no further questions or comments, entertain a motion to approve the emergency fence relocation from Fence Masters at the amount of $7,861 per Public Works.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Del Gomez,
Yes?
William Allen,
Yes.
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
Okay, next we have Verbeck Architects, change order number 17 for Block Stadium Design. The amount of this change order is for $85.55. Okay. Change order number 17, reimbursement for printing fees for improvement to Block Stadium Phase 5. So it's for $85 for reimbursement for printing fees. Any questions or comments on that?
No.
No.
If you no further questions or comments, we entertain a motion to approve change order number 17 for Better Architects in the amount of $85.55.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Del Gomez,
Yes?
William Allen,
Yes.
Gina Guzman.
Yes.
Okay, next we have for Federal Protection Agency. This is for Block Stadium. They have a proposal to provide security. It's 12 hours per day security coverage, total of 2,052 hours. 12-hour days, a rate of 1826 guard rate, times it's 2,052 hours, equals $37,469.52, plus a vehicle. And vehicle is at rate of 476 vehicle rate PH times 2,052 hours, which is $9,767.52, for a total of $49,209.12. Any questions or comments on this proposal for security from federal protection for Block Stadium? If you no further questions or comments, entertain a motion to approve Public Works proposal from Federal Protection Agency in the amount of $49,209.12 for Block Stadium security.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Del Gomez,
Yes?
William Allen,
Yes.
Gina Guzman.
Yes.
Next we have resolution 2020-28. Resolution 2020-28, resolution Chicago Board of Public Works amending and extending the professional service agreement of Robert L. Consulting Group LLC. Whereas the Board of Public Works adopted a resolution appointing and amending an agreement for professional services for Robert L. Consulting Group LLC, and whereas the current agreement extends through December 2020 and provides for compensation for services in the amount of $7,916.66 per month, and whereas the Board of Public Works now wishes to extend the professional service contract through July 1st, 2021, with the same compensation in the sum of $7,916.66 per month. Therefore, being resolved in the Board of Public Works of the City of Chicago that the engagement of Robert L. Consulting Group LLC be extended through July 1st, 2020, with the compensation for these services in the amount of $7,916.66. Any questions or comments on the amending contract for Robert L. Consulting Group?
No.
No.
There be no further questions or comments, or entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2020-28, the amending and extending of the professional service agreement of Robert L. Consulting Group LLC.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Del Gomez,
Yes?
William Allen,
Yes.
Gina Guzman.
Yes.
Okay, next we come to Resolution 2020-29, surplus or obsolete vehicle equipment for public works. It's from the Law Department. Resolution 2020-29, resolution of Chicago Board of Public Works declaring surplus or obsolete certain vehicles and equipment from the Public Works Department. Whereas the City of Chicago currently owns certain items of personal property, including several vehicles which, due to age, wear, and high maintenance costs, become unfit for the purpose for which they were intended, and whereas the Chicago Department of Public Works by its director has stated that the vehicles listed below become obsolete and unsuitable for continued use by the city, and has recommended this property be decommissioned and deemed surplus in keeping with Indiana Code 5-22-22. And we have 2 pages of...
Mr. President, we also have a representative from Public Works who is said to be available.
Okay. And so, Review the rest of the resolution. Whereas the city of Chicago, Indiana, and by and through its Board of Public Works is authorized by the Indiana Code to disperse the surplus, obsolete, and unusable personal property by Indiana Code 522-22, deposition of surplus personal property by a governing body. Whereas the Board of Public Works accepts the recommendation of the Department of Public Works and its director and finds the property listed here is obsolete and unusable for the city purpose and definition of IC 522-22-8. Thus desires to declare this property as surplus and obsolete, and as such authorizes that it be disposed of and removed from the city inventory in keeping with I Code 522-22. Whereas Indiana Code 522-22 permits that the obsolete, surplus, and unusable property may be disposed of through auction, sale, by other means including sales as scrap, with proceeds benefiting the city, or disposal through donation, or where the cost of sale would exceed the proceeds from such sale, the property may be donated or trashed. IC 522-2211 requires the notice of time, place, and terms of sale, and notice must be paid by publication at least 15 days before the sale of surplus items. And whereas the Board of Works intends to authorize the sale of the above listed obsolete, surplus, or unused property by auction where practical, and authorize that the property which is not successfully auctioned be sold as scrap, donated, recycled, or trashed in order of the priority. Now therefore be resolved that the Chicago Board of Public Works hereby declares that the above listed items of personal property which consist of obsolete, surplus, or unusable vehicles and obsolete, surplus, or unusable equipment, which due to age, wear, and high maintenance costs become unfit for intended purpose are hereby declared obsolete and surplus within the definition provided by IC 522-22-8, and that the board hereby authorizes the auction of said vehicles in keeping with the requirements of Indiana law and the Chicago City Controller's procedures, and also authorizes the advertisement of auction in keeping with IC 522-22-11, and where such items are not successfully auctioned, the Board of Works hereby authorizes the deposition of such property through sale of scrap, donation, recycle, or being trashed in that order of priority, with the proceeds of the auction, sale, less cost returned to the city's general fund, with a final accounting provided to the Board of Public Works. Okay. Mr. Robinson?
Yes. Jalen Robinson, East Chicago Public Works. So
you're familiar with all the procedures for auctioning?
Yes.
You guys are preparing to actually follow through on the auction and what you can auction, scrap, or whatever?
Yep, so all the vehicles right now housed at Public Works that are ready for auction. We're waiting on a couple of duplicate titles for vehicles. So the next step is just getting it in a newspaper for public notice.
Okay, and the public notice will list all these vehicles as required by law then?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any questions or comments on Resolution 2020-29?
No.
No.
Okay.
One note, there were some tires and other equipment that didn't make it to that resolution, but so in your next meeting, you'll have another similar resolution, but those things don't have VIN number, it's just, it'll list X number. I don't know if you want to address that, but.
Yep. So there is 30 total tires that we have that is not compatible to any of the equipment we have. Some of the tires are bigger tractor tires that were sold in previous auctions, but we had trailers in the back of Public Works that we couldn't get into, so we finally were able to gain access into them. And it's about 30 tires in there that are not capable of anything we have. And we also have 16 set of lockers that were from the old Lincoln School that we just don't have any use for anymore.
Okay, so you're going to submit, you intend to submit that list
For the next
meeting?
For the next meeting.
Okay. Okay, any questions or comments?
No.
There be no further questions or comments, or entertain a motion to approve City of Chicago Board of Public Works Resolution 2020-29.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez.
Yes?
William Allen.
Yes.
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And next we have resolution 2020-30. CGI video, this is for multimedia. Resolution of Chicago Board of Public Works regarding an agreement with CGI Communications for the production of videos to promote the city of Chicago. Whereas CGI Communications provides professional video production services for many clients, including the municipality. Whereas CGI is producing and providing quality videos which welcome visitors, potential residents, and visit the city of Chicago by focusing on the city's assets, amenities, including education, healthy living, housing, real estate. These videos have been featured on the City of Chicago website and otherwise used to promote the city. Whereas for over a decade, the city has worked with CGI Communications to help develop and screen content and provide stock footage and help CGI for use in videos used to promote the city. And CGI has provided its video production service to the City of Chicago at no cost. Whereas CGI has proposed to continue providing video production services to the city at no cost, has provided an agreement attached here entitled CGI Communications 2020 Community Video Program. Now therefore be resolved by the Chicago Board of Public Works that it approves the attached CGI Communications 2020 Community Video Program and authorizes the agreement to be executed by the President of Public Works. Is it no cost?
Right, and apparently they've been doing it for a long time, so I think they use the things they do for cities to promote their service. So to say, look what a nice job we did for Chicago, and we do it for your private business. I think that's how it works, but yeah. Steve says they've been doing it for forever.
Yeah, I knew it. I just never knew that they're doing it at no cost.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it sounds a no-brainer this one. Any questions or comments?
We should have questions.
No. Do we have a library of these materials?
Steve should grow with it.
Okay. No questions or comments?
None.
There being no further questions or comments, I entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2020-30, the agreement with CGI Communications for production of videos to promote the city of Chicago.
So more.
Second?
Roll call?
Bill Loomis,
Yes?
William Allen,
Yes.
William Guzman.
Yes.
Send them a big thank you, too. Okay. Next we have the compliance report for the pre-stressed tank number 1. This was submitted by our Department of Planning and Economic Development. It's the compliance report for the pre-stressed tank number 1 on Todd Street. Right now, the liquidated damages are $11,856.46. Chicago residency damages is $235,835.01 for total damages of $247,691.47. As always, these reports are submitted for informational. We do not make motions on this. It just gives information on where these projects are as far as their compliance reports. Any questions or comments on the compliance report?
No.
No.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to. Oh, we have.
You gotta make a motion. Oh, I'm sorry.
There's no motion. We have added to agenda. We have City of Chicago Board of Public Works, Public Works Resolution number 2020-31. A resolution of the Chicago Board of Public Works regarding the Alder Street Sewer Project emergency cleaning. Whereas the city is served by the sanitary and storm water sewer, which extends from approximately the intersection of Guthrie and Alder Streets south to Gary Avenue, and whereas the Alder Street sewer is the main sewer line, parts of which have been in use for over a century and due to its age and constant usage has fallen into disrepair, is obstructed, flooded, and poses a risk of significant additional flooding It requires immediate cleaning, and whereas the Common Council has approved an additional appropriation ordinance number 20-0023, the fund maintenance, repair, and reline of the Alder Street sewer project. But the Alder Street sewer is currently significantly blocked, and at the north end is 60% flooded and is vulnerable to increased flooding in inclement weather, and as such poses an immediate, intimate threat to the densely populated residential areas, such that the cleaning of the Alder Street sewers to be conducted on an emergency basis, and whereas the cleaning of fragile aged sewers may reveal areas which have been partially collapsed or may trigger additional collapse, in this state, it's just a taped emergency repairs to be conducted during the cleaning of the blocked sewer, but that the city intends to design, engineer, and advertise for bids of the relining of the sewers in the near future. And whereas regards to emergencies, Indiana Code 5-16-1-1.6 states as follows: the responsible board or commission may, upon declaration of emergency recorded in its minutes, proceed to reconstruct or repair the building or structure without advertisement of bids. However, such emergency quotes may be invited from at least 3 or more persons, firms, limited liability companies, or corporations known to deal in the work required to be done, and the minutes of the board or commission shall show the names of the persons, firms, limited liability companies, or corporations invited to submit quotes. And whereas in keeping with the requirements of IC 515-1-1.6, the city sought quotes from at least 3 firms, and the quote submitted by R&R Visual for sewer cleaning was selected as the lowest, most responsible quote. And in case of collapse or partial collapse, the city may engage SC Construction for any necessary immediate repairs that collapses on emergency basis. Whereas the Board of Public Works recognizes the necessity of declaring an emergency regarding the condition of Alder Street sewer due to the risk posted to large residential areas, the city wishes to have the work to clean the Alder Street sewer conducted on an emergency basis. Now therefore be resolved by the Chicago Board of Public Works that it hereby declares an emergency regarding the Alder Street sewer due to significant blockage and flooding, which poses a risk to densely populated residential areas, and further resolves to authorize that the cleaning of the Alder Street sewer and immediate repairs and collapse be performed on an emergency basis. Any questions or comments on?
William, can you state for the record what other firms submitted quotes?
We reached out to companies such as Met Sewers, Visit Sewers, and R&R Visual. Out of the 3, R&R was the most responsible. And Lois, known to deal with pipes this size, which gets as big as 8 feet in diameter, and the city feels comfortable moving forward with them.
Can you just say, is there anything you want to add for the record about why it's an emergency as opposed to going for regular?
Well, yeah, I mean, pretty much just reiterating what's in the resolution. We underwent some investigation of our line earlier this year, and by not proceeding to move forward with the cleaning and televising of it, if we do come across bad weather, such as a heavy rainstorm, we do run the risk of flooding residents and businesses down the stretch of Alder, which start from Guthrie all the way to Gary Road. Our sewer is more than 60% full, and that's full of debris and water right now flowing through the combined system. So yeah, any extra would definitely surcharge our system.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Any other questions or comments?
No.
I have a little question. Would the sanitary board have to make a motion on this also, or just our board suffice?
I think it's smart for them to also do a motion.
They would just ratify it or something?
Yeah, they should have almost identical, but we'll just, change that they have.
We're holding the money for their project technically.
Okay, so are they aware aware that they have to do something? Or we're going to forward this to them? Or?
This developed quickly, so I'll make sure that they are aware. I think they're aware. I'm pretty sure they are, but I'll make sure.
Okay. There being no further questions or comments, I entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2020-3, resolution of Chicago Board of Public Works regarding Alder Street project emergency cleaning.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Bill Gomez.
Yes.
William Allen.
Yes.
Lena Guzman.
Yes.
And next we go to Reef and Riley, Chicago Resurfacing Sewer Project. We have the notice to award the contract and notice to proceed.
The base bid amount for Reef and Riley would be $1,477,000. Just for the record. And for our notice to proceed, we have a start date of today for them to move forward. A substantial completion of April 30th of 2021, with a final completion date of May 31st of 2021. And this work consists of mainly resurfacing and relining, with one block of hemlock being not reconstructed, but just having the sewer replaced in kind.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
No.
Okay, there being no further questions or comments, entertain the motion to proceed with the notice to award to Reef and Riley for the Chicago 2020 Chicago Service and Sewer Project on Hemlock Street and Ivy Street. So I get a motion to approve the notice to award.
So moved.
So, second.
Roll call?
Bill Gomez.
Yes.
William Allen.
Yes.
Lena Guzman.
Yes.
And now we can entertain a motion to approve the contract with Reef and Riley for the same project.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Bill Gomez.
Yes.
William Allen.
Yes.
Lena Guzman.
Yes.
And finally, entertain a motion to, for the notice to proceed to Reef and Riley for this project.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Bill Gomez.
Yes.
William Allen.
Yes.
Lena Guzman.
Okay. Now we move on to right-of-way applications. We have right-of-way applications. Board of Public Works permit applications number 20-03658 through 20-03662. Any questions or comments on these
No.
right-of-way applications?
No.
There being no further questions or comments, I entertain a motion to approve right-of-way applications 20-03662 through, 20-03658 through 20-03662.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Bill Gomez.
Yes?
William Allen.
Yes.
Lena Guzman.
Yes.
Proceed to other business. Well, one thing, Carla, at the beginning of the meeting, we did read the correspondence from Mr. Marcus Jefferson's attorney,
Yeah.
and I discussed that I had talked to you about it and the things that you would be contacting. I don't know if you would contact their attorney to explain our reasoning. I think Mr. Jefferson might have didn't get the full facts to his attorney on Section 7, under which discusses late invoices in timely fashion. Actually, he actually signed that section also says that we don't have to pay him if he doesn't provide it. So we mentioned on the record that he would discuss, have a conversation with them or correspondence and they'd get back to us.
Right. I'll give you a report on the status of the next meeting, and then whatever the resolution is, I'll make sure it's forward.
Okay. Jalen, before we close, we had one item from Public Works. We had change orders 1 through 3 from Midwestern Electric. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No, I don't know what they are.
Okay, well, just, I don't know if you can keep them, we'll be, contact them. The change orders, those 3 went above the 20%. And state statute says that the change orders go over 20%. you can't submit it as a change order, you have to submit it as a new proposal. So we approved 1 through 2, which was still within the amount, the 20%, but 3 would have put it over.
Okay, I'll let them know.
Let them know, change order number 3, we're gonna have to, they're gonna submit it just as a separate proposal, not change order,
Okay, I'll let them know.
okay? Just wanted to get that in case I come down tomorrow. Okay, I believe that we have no other business, and I believe that concludes our business for tonight. Our next regular meeting will be Wednesday, October 28th at 4:30 p.m. That concludes our business for tonight. I entertain a motion for adjournment.
So,
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez.
Yes?
William Allen.
yes.
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
I would like to call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Public Safety, 10/14/20 at 5:30 p.m. May we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
The United States of America, and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have the roll call?
Milton Reef.
Here.
Richard Chumzinski.
Here.
Thomas Davis.
Here. Is there a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from September 23rd, 2020?
I make the motion.
Are there any questions?
I have none.
If no questions, we'll take a vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have no correspondence before us. New business, is there a motion to approve Resolution 20-26, 4844 Magoon, and release of lien?
I make a motion.
Are there any questions?
I have none.
If there are no questions, we'll take a vote. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Resolution, we'll entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2020-27, 505 School Street, and release of lien.
I second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions?
I have none.
Any questions? We'll take a vote. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We have the fire department reports for September 2020. Is there a motion to accept the fire department reports?
I make the motion.
Moved and properly second. Any questions on the reports?
I have none.
If there are no questions on the reports, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. There is no audience here for participation. Our next meeting will be Wednesday, October the 28th at 5:30 p.m. If there is no other business before us, we'll take a motion to adjourn.
I make the motion to adjourn.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, meeting is adjourned.